As a black woman, I'm used to being underrepresented in the media, both traditional and social. However, it wasn't until I published my first children's book and struggled to find parenting bloggers of a darker hue that I realized how truly invisible I and women like me are. 8 reasons why mother and baby activity groups suck. Instagram is a case in point. I would best describe my relationship with it as love-hate, as in I love to hate all those beautifully posed and filtered pictures and find them equally mesmerizing and depressing. Despite this, I'm an avid user and, as a mom, I follow a lot of other mothers. In true Insta style, these mums are beautiful, have tons of stuff and are parenting the heck out of life, which is why I follow them. They are also mostly white. It's ironic that these very same characteristics led to a recent backlash against these so-called Instamums on Mumsnet. Yet out of this furore came the most unlikely movement and a new hashtag, makemotherhooddiverse. The hashtag was a knee-jerk statement I made in an Insta story in reaction to that terrible Mumsnet thread, says Candace Braithwaite, co-founder of the campaign. Admittedly, in true Mumsnet fashion, the thread had a playground bully vibe to it, but what I took from that is how those that are viewed as the most influential Instamums all looked the same. The lack of diversity in motherhood on social media has never been lost on me, but I think this was the tipping point, she adds. This tipping point led Candace, along with fellow Instagram mums Sarah Gregory and Nicola Washington, to launch an Instagram account and campaign devoted to seeing the online face of motherhood diversified. Make Motherhood Diverse is not an active exclusion. We don't want to ignore middle-class white mothers with glossy hair and immaculate clothes. What we want us to do is represent this version of motherhood truthfully as part of the picture, not its whole. Therefore, Make Motherhood Diverse is an active inclusion, declares Gregory. I dislike the phrase, working class done good, because it implies there is something wrong with being working class. I also dislike when people say social elevation is a result of hard work alone, because it feeds into a narrative that people are only poor because they are lazy. I am first-generation middle class, if such a thing exists. Thanks to the emphasis my parents placed on education, they were able to change our family outcomes because of their attitude, and that to me exemplifies white privilege, because if you are white it is possible to get an education, work hard, change your clothes, your hair, even your accent, as my aunt did when she came to London in the 70s, and as was suggested to my sister only recently, to alter people's perceptions of who you are and to get ahead. None of those things may be easy or even fair, but they are possible. You can't, however, change the color of your skin. At Make Motherhooddiverse is not a space just about race, though. There are so many stories to be told about motherhood that we thought carefully and decided it should be wider than that. But as a mother of mixed-race children coming to terms with the reality of structural and societal racism, unconscious bias and my own unacknowledged white privilege, race has a central role in my experience of motherhood. My children are going to be more middle-class than me, financially secure and given opportunities that I didn't even know existed when I was growing up. But they're also black. They are going to face challenges that I, even with my harsh northern accent, clumsy social graces, and constant fear that I'm going to be found out, have never faced, and if I'm not prepared to face up to my prejudices, acknowledge my role in perpetuating them, and play my part in their dismantling, I will have failed as a mother. Nicola, at Too Much Mothering Information, co-founder at Make Motherhooddiverse. Make Motherhooddiverse. A post shared by at Make Motherhooddiverse on October 9, 2017 at 9:16 MPDT. Some might ask whether there is a need for such a space, and I would shout them down with a big yes. Apparently so would the 1,000 people who followed the account before it even launched. Those numbers don't lie. As a black mother, of course, I noticed how I very rarely saw myself represented in this atmosphere, and when I did, it was by the same faces. But talking about this has opened my eyes to the fact that even white mothers don't feel as if they're being represented, states Braithwaite. All of us behind MMD want all mothers to have a space where they feel included and their opinions are valid. Make Motherhood Diverse needs to be a space where all can come and celebrate their differences. Looking beyond the hashtag and social media, Candace and her team are working on more content to promote the campaign, and there's even talk of an event. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am by this initiative. I write books featuring diverse characters so that my daughters and other children get to see themselves represented. But as a black mother, I also deserve to see myself represented and have a space where I can share my unique experiences. October is Black History Month, and while the focus is on Afro-Caribbean topics, I love that the scope of MMD is wider and seeks to include all the many shades and faces of motherhood. If you want to get involved, you can contribute a story or image by emailing makemotherhooddiverse@gmail.com. Follow on Instagram at makemotherhooddiverse and be sure to use the hashtag More how I potty trained my child at 18 months old. More 14 of the most inspirational British women of colour you should know about.